Welcome! In this video, I will show you how to implement risk-based testing in Jira using SoftComply Risk Manager Plus together with Xray Test Management tool. If you are developing regulated products or simply want to prioritize testing where it matters most, this integration provides a seamless way to connect risks, requirements, and test executions directly inside Jira. By the end of this video, you will know how to assess risks, connect them to mitigation actions, link our mitigation actions to Xray tests, and then prioritize testing based on risks. Finally, you can demonstrate complete traceability for audits and compliance. But let's get started. First, let's quickly understand how the integration itself works. SoftComply Risk Manager Plus is responsible for managing risks. It provides configurable risk models, automated risk scoring, mitigation action planning, risk reporting, and complete traceability between all those parts. Xray manages testing. It allows teams to plan, execute, and report both manual and automated tests directly inside Jira. Together, these two apps connect risk assessment with verification. Each mitigation action, usually another software requirement defined in Risk Manager Plus, can be linked to one or more Xray test cases, allowing you to verify that every important risk has been properly addressed. Now, let's see the complete workflow. The first step is creating and assessing your risks in SoftComply Risk Manager Plus. In Risk Manager Plus, you have two main views. You have risk models and risk tables. You can create a risk and evaluate it using the organization's preferred risk assessment model. In this example, you might want to calculate risks based on probability multiplied with severity. You can visualize and manage all your risk assessment inside a table view that looks like a spreadsheet. An important recommendation when you start using Risk Manager Plus with Xray is to sync your risk model values with custom fields in Jira. This enables Jira Query Language, or JQL, to search for risks based on their calculated risk scores later in the workflow. To do this, go to the Risk Model view in Risk Manager Plus app and find the model that you're using in your project. In this case, it's XREC model. And in here, you find a button that allows you to sync your risk model values to Jira custom fields. In this particular example, our initial risk class, risk score, is mapped to a Jira custom field called inherent risk. Once you have done that, remember to add these custom fields to your Jira issue screen so the values remain visible and searchable. So let's go back to our risk assessment. Once your risks have been assessed, you are ready to define how they will be mitigated. I have various risks defined here, and mitigation action in the column called is mitigated by. You can easily link the mitigation actions inside the table view. These represent usually design changes, implementation tasks, or software requirements that reduce the likelihood of the identified risk. You can do that inside Jira issue view and add them here using the mitigated by link type. Alternatively, you can do that inside the risk table view inside the Risk Manager Plus app. Simply add the mitigation action in the mitigation links column and it automatically ties it to the risk. At this point, every significant risk should have one or more mitigation actions tied to it. And now we go to test management. Before linking tests with risks, there's one important configuration step that you have to take. Let's go to Jira Space Settings. In here, we go to Apps, and we go to Xray settings and we go to test coverage. It is important for us to identify which Jira work item types are covered by Xray. In this example, we have risks represented by tasks and mitigation actions by stories, so we have added them into the coverable issue types. Next, choose the issue relationship type. In here, tests and risks are linked together through mitigation actions. So we add this link here, and finally we set the mitigation issue link type direction. And in here we say that is mitigated by is the type of link direction that we want Xray to monitor. This configuration allows Xray to correctly understand the relationship between risks, mitigation actions, and test cases. Now, let's go to Xray and create Xray test cases. Each test should verify one or more mitigation actions. You can do that either in Jira issue view by adding a test that first defining the link type is tested by, and here we can add the test, or we can go back to the risk table view and add the test directly in the table in the is tested by column as well. When creating the test, it is linked directly to mitigation action using the standard Jira relationship test or is tested by. Because mitigation is already connected to the original risk, Xray automatically becomes part of the complete traceability chain. The result is a continuous path from risk to mitigation to test, and then from test case to test results. One of the biggest advantages of this integration is intelligent test prioritization. Rather than manually deciding which tests should run first, Jira can automatically identify them using JQuery. So let's see how that happens. This process happens in two stages. First of all, we're going to find all the risks in this project, Xray Try, that have high risk score. This JQuery here returns only risks that meet your chosen threshold. We are looking for project Xray Try, and we are looking at risks that have high risk score. Once we have seen all these risks, we save this filter Xray High. This is important because we are using this filter in the next JQuery search. Be sure also to share the filter with everybody who needs to use it after you save it. Next, we're going to use the Xray's requirements test JQuery function, and we are using the first filter inside this function. In here, we are looking for key in requirements tests, and we are inserting the saved filter in here. And this JQuery function returns all the tests that are related to the high risks in our project. The result is a dynamic list of prioritized tests that always reflects the latest risk assessment. Whenever the risk scores change, your testing priorities are updated automatically. So after you have done that, your teams can execute the tests in Xray and record the test results directly inside Jira. With SoftComply Risk Manager Plus and Xray, you can build a complete risk-based testing process entirely inside Jira. You assess risks, define mitigation actions, connect them to test cases, prioritize testing using risk scores, and then execute tests. Finally, you can demonstrate complete traceability from identified risks all the way to verification results. Organizations using integrated risk-based testing workflows frequently report significant reductions in test planning effort, improved audit readiness, and greater confidence in release decisions. Most importantly, your testing effort is always focused where failures would have the greatest impact. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to learn more about SoftComply Risk Manager Plus or see additional Jira compliance solutions, visit our website or explore our documentation. Thanks, and bye-bye.